Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. We've got a nice blue cover to be the backdrop for our Shrieking Shack project, which although it's a micro scale build, will be part of a minifig scale scene, using these clouds and this 3x3 to make some interest on the backdrop. And we start our build. So, I'm going to use this grill piece in brown to form the door. I'm going to need to use this one by one to top it off. Now the bricks I've used to make the walls of the shack are arbitrary, really. They could have been regular bricks. I've chosen palisades. You could use almost anything. I like the palisades because they've got a bit of texture, make it look a bit run down. Just using this snot brick on the side. And on the front we've got one of these Technic bricks with a single hole with a 1x1 plate inverted in the front of that, and the opposite side is just a mirror. See those 2x2 dark tan plates studded onto the side? That will give us a door frame. And moving up to the second floor, again we're going to mix up the colours of our palisade bricks, giving that dark brown. And here's the first of our boarded windows, again just using a snot brick and a 1x2 dark tan tile. Almost the same on the other side, so we've got to put this 1x2 snot on the side, and then this grill piece sticking out in a rather random direction, but you'll see why in a moment. Just add this next snot brick for our next window. So this piece on the side here is going to be part of our chimney stack on the side wall. All will be made clear as we go up, but let's go back to the middle. We need to add a bit of detail around the door. So we've got this brick and bracket arrangement. That's just going to stud onto that jumper in the middle. And then we can add another jumper on the front and a 1x2 tile above. I've gone for dark orange just for a bit of change of colour, but that doesn't need to be dark orange. I'm going to put this corner cut tile on the front to form a porch. We can tile off after the second floor. We need to use these 1x2s because they've got no studs or anything on the bottom, and they can be aligned with that single jumper in the middle. We've got a couple of 1x1 plates just to fill in the gap. Now the upper level, as you can see, is only held on with one stud, and we'll talk about that a bit more in a moment. Looking at the front, you can see we've got unboarded windows at the bottom and boarded windows for the next level. You can leave all of them unboarded, board them up. I'm just showing you two different variations of a way we can portray the Shrieking Shack. Here's our one stud of connection. That allows us to just pop this 6x2 on at a diagonal and get a bit of wonkiness into our shack. 2x2 with two studs could have been a regular one, but I didn't have one for some reason. My inventory had run low. And here is our third floor with yet more boarded windows. Again, you can choose unboarded or boarded, whatever works with your collection. Got one of these nice textured bricks just for a bit more variety. And then we're going to pop on our dormer at the front, and that's going to be boarded up as well. So it's time to start adding the rest of our chimney. We're going to use two brackets. I'm going to pop that on here. Now with the wonk you get a bit of play even though these brackets are up against the side, and it just allows us to have just a bit of a twist in our shack. Going to continue building up the next level. I think this front's going to need a bit more stability, so I'm just going to swap out the 1x1 for another 1x2. We'll just stagger those to make the top nice and stable. Put the roof on. We're just going to use these dark bluish grey slopes. Pop our gable back on the dormer. Now we can finish off the roof. Again, dark bluish grey, this time 1x2x2. A couple more on this side. We're going to add the last touch to our chimney now with a third bracket. That's going to support this plate of 1x1 tiles on the top. We just get a tiny bit of twist. There's just enough tolerance in the bricks just to get this nice about half a stud of rotation. You can see our chimney looks quite contiguous all the way up. Last bit of snow on the top and the chimney stack. So there we go, that's the main part of her build. Not much to look up from the back, but then who is? When we put our background in behind, it looks quite nice. It's going to fit in our scene, but I'd like it a bit higher. So we're going to add one more element. So this is the base. What it's made of doesn't really matter, it's just what will fit in my scene. If you were to make one for yourself, you might want to make this a little wider, a little longer, maybe a little deeper. I've just got this foot at the back just to keep things balanced. And on the front, I've got this extra little piece on a hinge so that we get kind of a foreshortening effect. So it looks like the path is much longer and the shack is at a distance in our scene. Going to pop it on here. It's just studded on at the front. It's given us our look. As you can see, I could have easily put in bricks here, but it balances quite nicely. It's not a play set, it's going to just sit in display. So I've just left it open at the back. Now we have our shack on the hill. We've got that foreshortening effect from the path, and it looks much more impressive against the backdrop. There we go. That's our build. Of course, this is one of my builds, so it does fit inside its book cover. You can see it all packed away. And that's it. That is our Shrieking Shack. If you would like to join us on any other social media, the name is on the screen. I'll be happy to see you. And all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. Next week, I'm going to be showing you what minifig scene this piece actually fits into. I'm sure you know already. But if you'd like to see that and many more Hogsmeade mock builds, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.